Alrighty, and the racers are off. Let me just quickly get a nice sync going here on them. Flies ahead by a little bit. Ooh, Polly missing the Klungo cutscene skip right at the beginning, and it looks like Xafication's going to be taking a slightly early lead into this race. Turn down his audio just a little bit, just so we're not blinded by the sound of his running shoes. Polly's on his way to his shoes. Grabs him just fine, and now we're off to see what kind of Klungo luck they get. So it looks like on the timer here, some stuff happening off timer, so I'll extend that when it needs to be extended there, but for now let's just keep the writing off there. So anyway, Xafication gets a blue potion Klungo for this race. Not optimal. Blue potion he'll have to be careful with. Hits the right clone. And Polly gets a red potion Klungo, so that's good. He's going to have a nice safe. Ooh, no, Xafication tried to go a little too fast and hits a wrong clone. Oh dear. Well, it looks like the runners are pretty much tied at this point. Xafication taking the nice safe path back. Polly getting a nice Klungo right by the door, so... Safe strap, by the way, he says in chat. So yeah, Xafication has a long way to run from the center of the room. Meanwhile, Polly is right there at the door. So, as we've seen time and time again in this race, it looks like the runners are going to be pretty synced going through Klungo, even though one missed the cutscene skip, the other didn't. It's anyone's game now. All the little mistakes kind of add up. Both runners having problems getting onto the door frame, setting up their jumps. Ooh, and both of them get first try, almost synced, grabbing the treble clef off the roof. And basically synced going into King Jingling's throne room. Polly probably did save a little bit of time from lag reduction because he also took I feel like he took a less straighter path to the door. It looked like he kind of started running up the slope in the direction of White House instead of the throne room. So he may have, but I didn't catch that if he did. They basically made it from the treble clef into the throne room at the same time, so... Alright, now we're going to see how their trip through Bottles' house goes. At this point in the race, any small little mistake could cost them. Polly having a little bit of an awkward camera, running back and forth, kind of zigzagging a little bit. Loses a couple frames over Polly, or Xaf, who just kind of ran straight in. Making it around Goggles, both players. And it looks like Xafication's first one out of Bottles' house. But things could get cast one way or the next with GGM early. Or even Plateau early if they miss the jump, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Xaf gets in his spot, does the jump. He's a little bit too far to the right for that setup, but makes it on the second try. Polly accidentally jumping instead of crouching. Come on, Polly, you can do it. There we go, that'll work. Yep, there we go. Now Xafication's just starting his GGM early. Third try, and he's in. Oh, we're losing all... We lost audio from Xafication for a second there, but we got it now. So Polly starts his GGM early. And he makes it in way faster than Xafication did. I'm not a huge fan of that setup, but if it works, it works. Alright, so Xafication makes his way starting with the notes as Polly starts his switch cutscene. Jumps off the boulder ever so expertly. Polly's going to start his notes now. Xaf goes to run off the thing. Oh no! Xafication falls down into the water! This is a huge chance for Polly to catch up. Huge chance for Polly. At least he knew to Death Warp, and Polly takes the bad fall into the water, but at least he fell into the right side of the water, so landing in the pool. So Polly's on his way to go Death Warp into the cavern. Meanwhile, Xafication has to run all the way back to the gate. There are worse places people have died in that part of the run, so it's not a huge loss, but I mean it's still going to be at least 30 to 40 seconds. Alright, let's see what happens now. Yeah, this time holding down instead of holding up. It only takes one try to be gun shy there. Alright, and Polly almost forgot to hit his warp pad. I was thinking, like, did he forget the Jiggy? Is he just running out? But then I saw him try to run for the Globo. Nope, he just forgot the warp pad. Help! Alright, so Polly's just going to start his detonator section. Xafication now finally grabbing his Jiggy. He's a head and a tail behind. That's definitely for sure. He'll have to catch up. He'll have a long way to catch up, but I'm sure he can get it to work. But if Polly keeps up a nice steady gameplay, I'm sure he won't have much problems. But I mean, looking at their times, I mean, you never know. There would have to be a couple mistakes more out of Xafication. Xafication's currently running with a 45-42 PB. Meanwhile, ProfPoli has a 49-48 PB. So the time between these two runners is just over 4 minutes. And so when you think about that, a 30-second time loss isn't so bad. But if it keeps happening, you never know what'll happen. So I think at this point, Polly needs all the help he can get going into the front of the race. But if he manages to have a really good race and PBs by a good chunk of time, then that'll just even down the time. Polly just leaving. Ooh. Polly just leaving the fuel storage right as Polly starts, or as Xafication starts his cutscene. I want to call both of these runners Polly. I don't know why. Ooh, Polly takes a dunk in the water. So he goes for his detonator levitation. first try detonator levitation. Makes it cleanly out of there, and now he's off to go start his last section. Xafication taking the little extra bounce just to make sure he didn't land in the water. As he sets up his detonator levitation. Ooh, with a really bad angle. He tries to go for it, manages, doesn't make it, but he makes it up second try with a Bex jump right on top of it. And now he's off to go finish his detonator section with the notes, the warp to Wumba, and the jump in the pool. Polly makes it up to Bill Drill with a missed jump on the first one. It's going to cost him if Xafication gets it, but only like a second. And now he's off to go do his underground section. Xafication slowly gaining some headway on Polly here. Ooh, and he misses the jump as well. Both players do the same thing on their trip up to Bill Drill. Ooh, Polly misses the Bill Drill to the boulder. Standing a little too far back when going for the jump. Oh no, he misses the second boulder too. Xafication with the little swag there, going into Talon Trot through the loading zone. Yeah, let's see how Polly does the ladder. Ooh, side angle, but gets it to work. Xafication making it up his ladder as well. Meanwhile, Polly entering Power Hut basement. Polly taking the jumps on the boards. It was too dark to see exactly what was going on there, so. Alright, Xafication having a really nice Power Hut basement. And he's only going to be like maybe 10 to 12 seconds out of GGM after Polly. It was around 10 seconds, so. Alright, let's see how Polly handles his fire switch here. Oh no, Xafication takes a bonk. That might be too high. Nope, that worked. That worked just fine. Xafication takes a bonk. Polly gets his switch pretty fast. He goes for an extra nest of red feathers there. Xafication didn't look like he trusted that first one. Ooh, went for the second one but didn't quite make it. That one looks like it would work. Yeah. Not quite entirely confident on his ability to hit the fire switch, opting to stay at the top of the hill just in case, but at least they're both out of there. So Polly already on his way back to, well, not on his way back, but on his way to Master Jiggy Wiggy. Going to open up his first puzzle, or first level. Oh, Xafication takes a second bonk in a row. How how many times is he gonna bonk this run? Xafication opting to talk to the disciple a second time. Polly with a 90, Mayhem Temple puzzle. And now Xafication starts his puzzle. Alright, here we go, Xafication starting his next puzzle here. Ooh, putting a piece in the wrong spot. Having a little harder of a time picking up pieces. He also got a little worse of a layout, so we got an 88 MT puzzle out of Xafication here. Xafication not liking the start of his run from the look in chat. Like I said, their PBs are about 4 minutes apart, but right now ProfPoli is running at plus 13 on his PB, and Xafication running plus 2 minutes on his PB. He had a rough GGM. Falling in that cavern was definitely a large loss of time. It's just over a minute, so. Alright, Polly's entering MT to start his Jade Snake Grove early. Let's see how he handles it here. I don't know when my next race is. Me and iCup will decide that eventually. Alright, so we had a really clean Jade Snake Grove early out of Polly. Oh no, and he bonks now on Grip Grab. We've had a lot of bonks this race so far. Xafication making it through his Jade Snake Grove early, really easily. Are we gonna get a third bonk in a row? Nope. Alright, we got Polly now running up to his snake. Xafication's right behind Polly. He's having really clean movement where it matters. Ooh, Polly almost slipped down the slope. That would have been really terrible. Polly with a nice grenade shot on the snake, not having to reposition at all. Oh! Xafication. Coming out of Talon Trot right in front of the Sput. Though that's really scary when that happens. Thank goodness he was a little far away so he didn't get tagged by a dart. We aren't using Polly's audio because I forgot to switch it earlier. Polly always with the interesting flight. Not quite confident on his beak bomb to the top of the temple here. Or maybe he's just used to playing BK and not flying in first person. Who knows? Really good beak bombs out of Xafication here. And now they're basically going to be talking to Jam Jars at the same time at egg aim. Polly opting to open the door. Ooh, get some sign text. I don't know what he was doing so close to the sign, but... And Polly's got to learn to do these beak bombs in first person. A lot more aim, a lot more control. Lose a lot more feathers. And now Polly can't find his last fly. Oh, but it was right there all along. Alright, so now we got another lead coming out of Xafication here. Ooh, a Xafication with the first try prison code. Forever lucky. Ooh, ProfPoli also getting a first try prison code. We get double prison codes here. Ooh, but Polly talks to Dilberta. She's not in a great spot for him either, having to run a kind of a long way. Alright, so now we're on to the real trial of Prison Compound. We got the pillars. Both players made it out with really, really nice prison codes. I think anyone would want to see that in a race. Ooh, Xafication with the blind jump to the right, making it. That's a brave jump. Yeah, I didn't like that last jump. I don't think he held the jump for as long as he wanted to. Ooh, misses his blind jump, but Polly misses it too. No, that's Xafication's mouse, Asmi. But he's definitely in chat, so he'll see it. Both players messing up their pillar jumps here. Alright, Xafication on his last pillar jump. This one looks much better than before. Makes it up. And now we got Polly coming up to his second pillar jump here. That one looks good to me. And his last pillar jump. Can he make it? Looks good. He makes it. Both players make their pillar jumps around the exact amount of time, so I mean we had a lot of problems at pillars here for both players, but I mean at least both of them made it out. Both of them made it out around the same amount of time. Xafication just grabbing the Jiggy on the other side of his swamp. He had really good grip grabs on the ledge and letting go. So he's going to gain a little bit of time on Polly there, who's opting to grip grab the entire way across the ledge. Alright, and Xafication's out of MT. Shoutouts to Xafication, who moved his mouse, but didn't move them off his splits, and instead just moved them to a different part of his splits. You probably couldn't tell on stream, but I can tell because I can see their entire stream up. Now it's no longer bugging chat, it's only just bugging me. Alright, Xafication starting his GGM puzzle. An 85. Polly's just running to start his puzzle. And now he removed him completely from his splits. There is no mouse in sight anymore. Ooh, Polly not quite sure where that first piece goes. Taking a 50-50 at two completely dark pieces and finishes with an 82, so loses a little bit of time on that puzzle to Xaf, but puzzles, right? Puzzles, am I right? You guys hate GGM puzzle? I hate Witchy World puzzle. Ooh, Xaf picking the wrong side for the first piece to go on. Let's see how the rest of his puzzle goes here. Interesting order to pick up his pieces, but he makes... Wow, that was the fastest 78 I ever saw. It went like 79... 78, 77. Yeah. So, Xaf finishing with a 77 Witchy World. Meanwhile, Polly's on his Witchy World puzzle as well. Having a pretty good Witchy World puzzle out of here. Polly finishes his Witchy World with an 82 puzzle, saving a lot of time over Xafication on that one. That's just the kind of puzzle he needed there. If I had to pick a worst puzzle in the game, it would probably be probably Cloud Cuckoo Land. Witchy World and Cloud Cuckoo Land. And Gun Chamber. I also don't like the MT puzzle, just because it's only like 5 pieces. So if you get 5 really bad pieces, then it's hard to put them together. Because it's like 100% reliant on where the pieces go to, rather than actually putting them together in a fast order. Alright, Xafication finishing his JRL puzzle with another 77. So 77 Witchy World, 77 JRL. As Polly moves over to his JRL puzzle. Ooh. Polly finishes with a 74. So looking at their puzzle times, I think all 3 of them pretty much evened out in terms of puzzles. Alright, Xafication just entering back into his file now. Polly's still waiting on the intro screen. So he's going to be headed off to Witchy World to go do his run around for Split Up and the remainder of his DCW setup. Let me just hit the volume up there for you guys, just so you guys got a little bit louder of Tooie here. Xafication making him snipe so he doesn't get whacked. We'll see if Polly can do the same when he runs up to the Fruity. As Polly enters the level, Xafication's just rounding out about the fry notes. Polly's gonna get the snipe as well. Polly doing his interesting route for the notes in Witchy World, so he doesn't have to grab the extra note in JRL for the swim. Xafication's hit his switch. Good reset, so he's got his DCW all set up. Ooh, Polly aiming a little high. I don't think that's gonna hit the button. Nope. Little too high. There we go. Made it with the second grenade. And Polly's on his reset. Currently 22 seconds ahead of his PB as well, leaving Witchy World, so. Oh no, Xafication letting go of the signpost. Oh no, he keeps letting go. I think he's trying to beak bust up there, but I don't know. Having grabbed the signpost probably would have just been faster to just climb up. Right, now Xafication's on his way to go open up cliff top. Makes it up on the sign, just decides to climb up. Still grabs both the notes. I thought he was actually going to jump over one of them. Polly with a little bit of a cleaner plateau, I think. So far, anyway. As long as he doesn't accidentally rejoin on his way to the Kazooie switch. Polly grabbing the extra feathers, but he didn't need any. But just to make sure. If you're unsure, Xaf, sorry, not Polly. It never hurts to grab those feathers if you're unsure. Because it's better than making the walk of shame back from the water to the feather nests. Xafication making it into blubbers. Polly not having to worry about sign text because he accidentally triggered the sign in Mayhem Temple. And now he's in the water, folks. We'll see what happens. There's been a couple runners in the last round who had problems swimming around the octopus and having getting tagged by the eels too, so we'll see what happens to these runners. Xafication making a very safe path around the octopus's face. Makes it around just fine. Polly's turn to go around the octopus. He's tailing just by a loading zone. Polly with a really safe path around the octopus. But making sure he doesn't get tagged. I think Xafication should be good here. Oh no, he gets caught on the window. Should be good here even if he gets tagged by an eel, but he goes just straight to the surface, not even bothering with the diagonal. Tries to make it up as fast as he can. And I mean, he made it up with 3 health left. That's pretty good, so No problems there from Xafication. Polly entering the electric eel lair. Again, not swimming in first person. Alright, Polly gets a second bonk. Both players with 2 bonks. I think that's the most bonks we've had in a race so far. I think we've seen 3 between the 2 runners before, but I think this is the first time we've actually seen 4. Alright, Polly on his way out to go to Pine Grove. Xafication just ahead of him, blowing up the boulder in Pine Grove already. Xafication has either a green potion Klungo or a red potion Klungo waiting for him, so a nice easy red potion would be something to kind of turn the tide. If he gets green potion but loses sight of the real clone, then who knows what can happen. Meanwhile, Polly's blowing his boulder up, and he's going to have either a blue or a green waiting for him, because he already had the nice easy red on the first Klungo. So, we're going to see what these runners do for their Klungo potions. Xafication gets green, that's optimal. If he does it right up close, nice and easy, shouldn't have too much of a problem with it. Looks like he's doing the nice easy shot. It looks like he might be going for the optimal snipe here. Hopefully he can count these potions just right. Ooh, he shoots his egg a little too early and now he's lost. But gets into first person, starts doing the random snipes around, but he can't find him. He's right next to him. I can hear him. There he is. Alright, Xafication having a couple problems with it, but... Alright, Polly eventually just getting into first person, shooting an egg when he realizes he can't chase him down when he's not in Talon Trot. An interesting beak barge at him as well. Let's see if he can hit the right one. He might go for a fast shot here. Yep, he does it. Alright, so Xafication finally makes it to Wasteland. One more opportunity to not get a bonk here. But what are the odds of that, really? He says wonderingly. Got him. 3 bonks from Xafication in this race. And now we got Polly. Surely he won't bonk on this silo, the same as Xafication just did. No, he didn't. So, between the 2 runners this race, we had a total of 5 bonks. 3 from Xafication, fire eggs, grenade eggs, and and clockworks. All 3 of his bonks were at his 3 egg moves. I find that actually really funny that all 3 of his bonks were the moves he learns were the eggs. Meanwhile, Polly gets his bonks at clockwork, or not clockworks, at Talon Torpedo and Grip Grab. So now we got both runners watching their cutscenes. Entertaining for the whole family. Polly's not that far behind Xafication. Maybe 20 seconds, I'd say. Yeah, it's about 22 seconds. Polly's trailing by Xafication by about 22 seconds. So a bad Hag 1 fight is all one of these runners needs to kind of seal it. Hello, wizard. Alright. So Xafication just entered back into GGM. Polly's just on his way to Plateau to enter GGM, so little bit ahead, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully Polly's Hag 1 is a little less dangerous than it was last time. I remember in last round's race, Polly's Hag 1, I thought he was going to die for sure. 100%. And shoutouts to Xafication, who put his mouse cursor over top of his timer once again, and I'm pointing it out to all you in chat so you can enjoy his mouse cursor, separating his 42 from his seconds. We meet again. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Alright, so Xafication starting his first shooting phase. We're going to go ahead and see how he handles his Hag 1. Very well-timed grenade shots. I know Polly doesn't do grenade shots, so this is going to be a little bit hard for him to catch up, I think, at this point, as long as Xafication keeps up this pace. Ooh. Uh-oh, he's on grenade eggs. Opts to just shoot fire eggs on the second one, but I think that's actually because his he brought up his egg menu too early, and so when he went to go switch to grenade eggs, it might have just brought back up his menu to fire eggs again, and then he didn't end up doing the quick shot. Alright, this time he had a good grenade quick shot. Meanwhile, Polly's just starting his laser phase, trying to get up onto the drill, but ooh, misses the first two mortars. And now he's gonna be on the mortar to cancel one lag, and he's very close to the drill. I'm actually worried about that, but it's gonna be a little hard to aim with the rim of the drill right there. But he makes it. He makes it. Granny is at 70. Ooh, aiming a little too low there, but ooh, makes it in the second shot. So Xafication's out of his mortar phase. He's ready to start his first battery phase. Polly having pretty good snipes on Grunny there. Xafication collecting blue eggs with a very zoomed in camera, but goes for the health just so he's safe for the rest of the fight. I think he's got all the eggs he needs now. All he has to do is just finish the fight now. Going for one more blue egg nest. He's not going to be on the right side of the lasers, I don't think. He might be able to move over because he'll be like in between. Ooh, he's just barely on the right side of the lasers. Makes it just fine, but he's a little far away. Oh no, Xafication blows up his clockwork. Cancels his text a little too fast. If they both die to Hag 1, they restart. The race continues until one of them forfeits. If you die to Hag 1, you just start up your race again and keep going. Because if your opponent dies to Hag 1, you'll at least be ahead of him. Ooh, Xafication bill drilling. Trying to dismantle Grunty's tower from the top. Ooh, I don't like where he's got the Hag 1. He's gonna have a... I think he's gonna have a duel with an Ugger here. No, it's up to the runner. I'm not gonna stop a race if the runner is willing to continue on and keep going. That was a really good clockwork shot. A little far away, but makes it just fine. So Xafication's just going to be blowing up his second battery now. Ooh, Poly aiming a little too high to start the phase there. And he's going to be blowing up his second battery in just a second now. Both runners have had pretty good Hag 1 fights. Xafication opting just to shoot blue eggs on Grunty here instead of doing the grenade quick shots. Poly just starting his fight to the death in a second. Xafication gets whacked by an Ugger from behind. Again, like I said, his position's just like it just happens that way sometimes. The cyanide and mustard gas flavored gas is out. Grunty is at 2 health, 1 health. Ugger's coming. Oh lord, he coming. Ooh, missed shot. But finishes with a 48.09. Oh lord, he coming. Xafication 48.09. Meanwhile, ProfPoli is just starting his toxic gas phase. Trying to move around a little too much. Not needing to move around so much because the Uggers aren't there, but he makes it out. Ooh. Ooh, come on, Poly. Come on, you can do it. And he finishes with a 48-48. Both players pretty decent Hag 1, and Poly PB'd by a minute. Poly got a minute PB. PB'd by a minute exactly.